Welcome everybody to this session, part of academic literacy program. And today we're basically looking at two things. In fact, three. The first is how to create a page, the cover page, and also how to make a table of content. And lastly, how to do Harvard referencing. So those are the things that we're going to look at. And I'll just start sharing the screen now. And so, as I said, that we will learn how to create a cover page and also the table of contents. And then lastly, we are going to look at the referencing style. You may be aware that the Lusaka Apex Medical University uses the Harvard method of referencing. So I'd like that you apply all these in the assignments that you're writing. There's been a request that we submit our literature review assignments on Monday, and I've said that it's fine that you submit on Monday by the end of the business day. So I will just use a different page to be able to just demonstrate on how you can make a cover page as well as a table of content. Are we able to see this page where it's written chapter 1, introduction and background?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the first thing that you need to do is you look at these spaces here on your Word document, Microsoft Word. You see here it's written home. Here it says insert. Here it says page layout. Here it says references, mailings, review, and also view. When you click on insert, you see that here the first one says cover page. So you click on cover page and you see that it will give you different types. So you can figure out on your own which one to use. I like to use this one, which says conservative. I prefer using this because it gives me opportunity to put all the details that I need. So I click on it and immediately you have your cover page here. And all I need to do is substitute so that I have information that pertains to me. So where it's written, type the company name. I'll write Lusaka Apex Medical University. I just want to check if I'm recording. Okay, we are recording. I can even just highlight it by right-clicking and then change the font size. Maybe I want it to look bigger, 16, 18, maybe 22. I can even make it bold. I can make it italic, but I prefer not. Okay. Then there's this section here which says type the document title. And my document is looking at CBR in Chongwe district. It's just a study that I'm finishing doing in the district called Chongwe, close to where our campus is. So I write community-based rehabilitation in Chongwe district. That's just the title. Okay. I can even just put the whole lot of it, a baseline study on community-based rehabilitation in Chongwe. Then the type, then here it says type the document subtitle. I can put that whether it's a proposal, maybe it's a research report. And for you guys, you could write literature review. Please, if you're lost anywhere, let me know. Here is the name of the author. I can put my name there. I can pick the date. Today's date is the 8th, April 8th. There's an abstract there. I can just write this document is a literature review on community-based rehabilitation. So basically, that's how you can be able to create the cover page. You don't have to stress a lot. You can go to insert, cover page, then you choose the type of page that you need. You can even go these ones which are fancy. So it depends on what you like. So this is how you do your cover page. Okay. If you have the logo of the university, you can even put the logo somewhere here. It's just a matter of pasting, copy and pasting. Okay. You can paste pictures. You can put pictures here. So now we have chapter 1, and it has got headings, and then there are also subheadings. Okay, you see these are subheadings. You'd all need to, for your literature review, you're going to have different paragraphs or different sections, and they have to be given subtitles. All right, here's my introduction, background to the study. There's Norwegian Association of the Disabled. So I've numbered all my subheadings. Okay. So now we're learning how to insert the table of content. So you want a particular page which is going to have information concerning your headings and your subheadings. And you want that you should be able to look at the table of content and see the page number where that particular topic is or title. So the table of content is actually a guide. So before I even do anything, I'll just insert the page numbers. Okay. You can see that down here, there's no page number. So I don't want to see any assignment being given without page numbers. I'll mark you down. So for you to be able to insert page numbers, again, you go to insert. So this is home, this is insert, page layout, references, mailings, review, view. So I want to insert page numbers. If you go down here, you find this page number here. You click on it, right click. Do I want my page numbers to be on the bottom, at the bottom or at the top? I like to have it at the bottom. And then which type, simple, this one. Do I want it to be on the left hand side? Do I need it? I want it to have it on the middle or this far end. Okay, so let's say I put it the page numbering on the right. So you can use any of these. You can even use this one a bit more fancy, and this one also. So let's say I put this one. So immediately you see that page numbers have been inserted. So automatically all the page numbers. So the page numbers, you don't have to do them manually. So you just go there and it will give you all the page numbers. Okay, up to page 6. So after the page numbers, now I need to do the table of content. For me to be able to to do it automatically, there are two principles. In fact, yeah, there are two principles. Number one, I'll need to highlight each heading individually. So like this one, this is a main heading, okay? Here you can see there's heading 1, heading 2, normal, no spacing, heading 3. So I want to create my own kind of headings, the way they should be, the font size. You can see that the writing here it's 12, the font size here it's 14. So I highlight it, I go to heading 1, I right click and I want to modify it. So it will be 14. I can change it to 16. It will become bigger. Okay, we'll keep it at 14. And then here you can use Times Romans, can be Arial. Okay, so maybe Times New Roman. So let's use Times New Roman or Arial. I want it to be bold, so I'll click there. If you want it italic, you do that, but I don't want it italic. Here it's for the color. I want it in black. And then also it should be aligned in the center. That is for my heading, for the chapters. And then I say, okay. All right. I go to my subheadings. Okay, subheadings. Okay, I go to number 2. Again, I want to modify it. So for the subheadings, I want them to be 12, bold, also Times New Roman, and also black in color. Okay, then I say, okay. So I'll need to do this. So this is 2, because I want it to be like this. This as well, you click on 2. So all the headings, make sure you click on 2 for the subheadings. On 2. So this is important because without doing this, you won't be able to make the table of content automatically. You can see that my headings and subheadings are all in bold so that it's easy for somebody to follow. Are we all together? So I'll send this video as well as the slides that we're using for this academic literacy. So you've noticed that everywhere I have highlighted them. If you click on these ones, the text here, you can see that they're not highlighted anywhere here. Okay, but these ones, when I put my cursor there, you can see that the heading 2 gets activated. The first for the heading here, you see it's heading 1. So you can put this as heading 1 where they are bigger and main topics. So for my chapter 2, I'm also going to put as heading 1. I'll give an example. I had to put on this page chapter 2. Put it as methodology. Again, I'll have to highlight it, and then I want it to be heading 2. Okay. Heading 2 must be in the middle, like that. Okay. So there it is. Another thing, it must be 12 or 14. There. Okay. So I've highlighted it as well. Now it's time for me to make my table of content. So the first thing that I would do here is I want to have its own page where to put the table of content. So I'll put the cursor here, then insert blank page. So on this blank page is where I want my table of content to be. You've seen, this is my cover page. This is where my information begins. And this is where I want my table of content to be. So for the table of content, you go to references. You click on references and then table of content. This process, you do it after you have highlighted all the headings and subheadings. So I click on table of content and I see all these different styles, and I prefer automatic table 1. I click on that and immediately I have my table of content. So it has all information for all the topics and subtopics that I have. And it also gives the actual page numbers where these are. So it's a done deal. So I have my table of content and I have my cover page, and then my introduction and everything else. Okay. So that was concerning the cover page and also the table of content. So now we are going to look at referencing. Any questions? Okay, so the next 15 minutes, we shall be looking at referencing. So like I indicated earlier that we're using the Harvard method of referencing at the Lusaka Apex Medical University. So referencing is in 2 ways. The first thing is that in text, so where you are writing your literature review, wherever it's words that or things that you're getting from elsewhere, you need to reference. You need to indicate the author of that particular publication, so that you are able to, so that it's not plagiarism. If you add any information which is not yours, then it's plagiarism. And I did mention last time in class that plagiarism is a crime. So for articles in printed or electronic journals, these are publications, research publications, you will indicate the surname of the individual, the initial, the year of publication, the title of that publication, the name of the journal. In this case, it's Psychology Today. That's the name of the journal, and it must be in italics.
Yep, thanks.
And then that 21 there is the volume. This is the issue. When during the year was it published? It's the issue in brackets. And then you have the page numbers. Similar here. That's the surname of the individual. The initial, you don't put the full name. The initial, you don't put it in full. The first name, you don't put it in full. You just put the initial. Then the year, the title of that article, the name of the journal. The journal is the series of publications. We have the volume here, you have the issue here, and you have the page numbers. So this article, which is entitled Teaching in Higher Education, is found on page 421 to 429. So sometimes you find that they have the DOI number. If you find a number like this, you include it as well. Because if you get this number and search for it even in Google or Google Scholar, it will take you to the very article. There's somebody with a mic which is on. So if you can switch it off. So that's for electronic journals. Sometimes you'll get some information from books, and I'm hoping that you can use even the books that we have in the library. If you're going to use a book, in that case, you put the surname, the initial, the year of publication, then the title of that book is the one which will be in italics. And then the city where it was published, which is Boston, and then the publishing company, which is Boston Press. If the person is an editor, so you put the name of the surname, the initial, and then ED, and then a full stop. This must be in brackets. And then the year of publication. The title must be in italics. And then London, this is the city where it was published. Business Press is the name of the publishers. If there are several editions, you have the surname and initial. Some books you find that there's more than one author, so you put for all the authors. The year of publication, the title of the book, together with the edition, maybe it was second edition or third edition, you put it there, a full stop there, Boston where it was published, the city where it was published, and the name of the company which published, which is Boston Press. So this is what you do when a book has got editions. This is what you do when it's the editor. There is, I'm getting feedback, please. Can you mute your mic? Thank you. Sometimes it can be a chapter in a book with editors. So in this case, you put the surname of the individual and the initial, the year of publication. So this is the name of the chapter. It's a chapter in a book. A book has got many chapters. So this is the title, The Amazing Ant. And it's in the book, which is edited by Phelps and Layton. So you indicate those names. And then these are the editors. So you put in brackets EDS, full stop. This is the title of the book. This is a title of a chapter in a book. So the book has got many chapters. Then after that, you put the name of the city where it was published. It's in Hollywood, California. And then the press. In fact, it's Hollywood, and then California Press is where it was published. And then the page numbers, you put double P's for page numbers, and then from page 56 to 79. If it's a web page, you may find a website, so you put the author's name, the name of the authors, or name of the organization. Here, this is the title of the site. So Health and Safety Executive, this is the year of publication. This is the title of that article. And then you need to indicate available at, you insert the URL, which is the website. So you can go up there and just copy the whole thing and paste it here. And then the date when it was accessed. So if you have accessed it today, you're going to put accessed 8th April 2021. If there's no author, you're going to put the title here, Making Learning Fun. The year, again, available at the website, the URL, and then when you accessed it, and this must be in brackets, accessed 10th January 2019. If it's a newspaper article, the surname, initial of the author, the year in brackets, then the title of that article in the newspaper, and then you write the name of that newspaper, the Post newspaper, and then the date of the publication, the day of the publication and month, and also the page number of where it was published within that newspaper. Then other than, and all these we're talking about, that's what you put in your reference list. At the end, you have to develop a reference list. Now, when it's in text, where you're writing your whole literature review, you can say, for example, Dole argues that despite technological advances, radio production is less sophisticated than in the past. You put the year in brackets. Or if you're putting it at the end, in that case, it has to be in brackets and then the full stop at the end, not before. So this is a whole sentence. And this is when you have revised it yourself. There's evidence to suggest that despite technological advances, radio production is less sophisticated than in the past. And then you put the reference at the end. When there's more than one author, for example, there's 2 authors, you list all of them. 3 authors, you list all of them. 4 authors, you list all of them. Up to 5, the first time you are going to reference, to add that reference, you're going to indicate all of them. After that, you put the first name and then the author, and then the year. Okay? But if there are more than 2, the first time you list all of them. The next time you put et al. Et al, this means and others. This means and others. Then the year in brackets. So if you're starting with the name of the author to build in a sentence, the year must be in brackets. Only the year is going to be in brackets. But if it's at the end, then it's both the name and the year in brackets. When there are multiple sources, maybe there are 2 books or a book and a journal or 3 journals, so you put them all in brackets if you're not using the names in your sentence. Various studies, for example, then you put the actual studies that are talking about what you're saying, what you're about to say, have shown that cats prefer to avoid dogs in the multi-pet household. So you put in brackets or here at the end in brackets. So basically, those are the different ways in which you can do referencing. Are there any questions? So I'll expect that in text referencing, you do it the way I've indicated here. And for your reference list, you do it again the way I've indicated. And I'll send all these examples to you. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
When are we supposed to hand in the literature review?
It was supposed to be handed in this week, but there's been a request that you submit on Monday, and I've accepted that request. So by the end of the day, we'll need that you have submitted, all of you, hard copies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other question? So somebody says, excuse me, sir, I think the challenge that most of us are having is how to go about the literature review as a whole. That's the biggest challenge. So we had a lecture already where we discussed about the literature review. I'll send you slides on presentation on literature review, and I'll also send you examples of literature review. I'll send to your classmate, and the classmate can share with everybody else. Any other question? Okay, I take it that there's no other questions. So thank you very much to all who attended this session. The video, I will share it as well. Other than the slides, I'm going to share the videos as well. Thank you very much.